Well, I tried. You saw me struggling. What was happening was the welder on the foot pedal, as soon as you hit the switch, it would throw at whatever current the potentiometer was, and which was fried in the pedal. So anyway, sorry I didn't film, but here it is. It's done. Sick welds. But anyway, what was supposed to be a cool video going chronicling this project is now turning into how to do a foot pedal on a TIG welder. My setup is not super complicated. So this is a TIG 200 AC/DC pulse. So you can set your ramp currents and peak currents, and you can set the frequency at which that goes up and down, so you don't, on a really long weld, you don't have to be on the pedal, or like on the Cherokee, you can try and set all that up and then be completely inside the vehicle without having to deal with the pedal at all. On the bottom is the Core 145 plasma cutter. This thing is as good as I need for what I do, and I almost never turn it on because we're inside a shop, and I'm not going to drag it outside to go do one cut. So this almost never gets used, but it does, and it has served me well for years. Both of these machines have served me well for years. Core 1 Welding, which is basically a Chinese rebranded name, but this particular TIG 200 welder with pulse and whatever other settings on there, AC/DC is an important distinction. This is probably the same board that's in all of the ones on Amazon. I got these because this is what my local welding supply sells, so I was able to go in and buy consumables on the spot. They've since stopped selling these, and I don't even think Core 1 exists, or you can't even buy it on Amazon. A quick remark about the offshore stuff is I learned on a Miller Maxstar probably from, I don't know, we'll say like 2010 is when that machine came out, and these blow that machine out of the water. Again, not because this is going to be better than that Miller, but it's just newer. So you can see in the beginning of that video, that high frequency will fire an arc very far away from the surface, and it sort of has the electronics in it to keep that arc stable even though you suck as a welder. I personally think that I would rather buy a new welder every single year to have the newest sort of technology than buy one $5,000 welder, $5,000 or $10,000 welder that's gonna last me 10 years, because by the time you get halfway into the life of that machine, they already came out with mega new technology. From what I see in my welding progression, I don't know, I don't use it enough to justify the cost of a Miller or whatever. So anyway, with that said, so check this out. Here is a feature on these Core 1 torches that you can have this trigger control right on your fingertips. So this one's just on and off and a dial, and control the current on the fly with the knob. I'm not super good at it, but it was a cool thing to have. They even have pressure sensitive touch switches, which I think would be a lot better. It's like a kind of like a foot pedal for your finger. I could probably get down with that. But anyway, all of these sort of gizmos operate on the same principle. They have a momentary switch and a potentiometer that tells it what the peak current should be. Looking inside the pedal, most of the apparatus is the pedal itself, because we are humans and we have big feet and we throw things around. And so all this is a hinge with a spring. There's a spring in there that keeps tension on it, and an arm that just actuates this little board. So this is a sliding potentiometer on here. And on the bottom of the inside is your momentary switch. Hit the pedal, it clicks the switch, and then this slide feeds back how much or what the pedal position is. So that's it. Now this board here has some capacitors to keep the noise out, because on AC or whatever you're going to inject a lot of noise and it helps keep the arc stable. This is the same board and pedal set that's in the Harbor Freight Tig machines, but they don't have this board. They solder the wires directly to the pot, and it's okay. They just don't have the noise reducing capacitors, but it's the same pedal. And what I was able to replace it with is this Vulcan pedal. Again, right off the shelf from Harbor Freight. It was like 99 bucks. It has the same internals. We'll get to that in a minute. Like electrically it's the same, but they all of these welders use different plugs. So you have to cut your barrel plug off that fits your machine, or buy another one or whatever, and then figure out what your wiring diagram is for the plug, and reverse engineer the wiring diagram for the pedal and get it to work. So for the last kind of 10 years, the schematic is the same for all foot pedals, regardless of the make, with one important distinction, and that's the total value of the potentiometer. So from this point, it's figuring out just what color wires go to what. Some have 5 wires, some have 6 wires, which means there's kind of like a redundant ground in there. But the principle is basically the same for all of them. There's just a switch on 2 of the wires, a power going to the top of the potentiometer and a ground coming off the bottom, and then a wiper that comes back as your signal. As far as the non-name brand machines go, the value of that potentiometer is 10K or 10,000 ohms. And the value of the name brand machines, Lincoln, Miller, they're going to be a 1K ohm or 1,000 ohm potentiometer. And hey, why not pay more than a retail priced pedal that's on the shelf and can go get it right now just for that pot? And when we say reverse engineer, it's not super complicated, because you could see the traces in the board. And so a simple multimeter is all you need to kind of decide what direction or what pin these 3 plugs go to that lead back to the wires. And let's say that these were the leads. You're going to get on an ohm meter, you're going to get 10K if it's a non-name brand welder across the top and bottom of the potentiometer. And then say the wiper's all the way up, you're going to get 0 from here to the wiper, and from the wiper you're going to get 10K from here down, and then say it's in the middle, it'll be half to both. So it's easy to find which is the wiper. It's easy to find which are the outside 2, and anybody with any kind of sense is going to lead the outside wires to the outside pins. So it's not complicated. And then the other ones are just open and closed. So when you have your multimeter on the 2 wires and you click the momentary switch, you'll see just 0 ohms on the multimeter. So it's not complicated. All right, so in conclusion, you can fix it if it's a China machine and it's a pedal, but would you rest your livelihood and all your work and queue on a Chinese machine? Like, there's no end to the work. Chassis, trucks. There's the light bar for the G-Wagon. All this fab crap. The lift, all the equipment. Would you rest all of this? Say 20% of your productivity relies on that machine. You gonna go with something like that? It failed on me because that pedal is kind of a piece of crap, but it was because we beat it up. And maybe a Miller or a Lincoln wouldn't have done that, but if it had, we wouldn't have been able to get parts. And none of those machines are really worth cracking open and sending out to get fixed. Maybe like a $10,000 or $20,000 Synchrowave or something like that, but these, forget it. Go buy another one. And that was kind of my plan. I was just really disappointed that I couldn't just go buy another one, because here's the thing, even though I fixed it, really, like, we need to have two. We should be having choice of welders, or one should be set up as MIG and one should be set up as TIG, and then if the TIG breaks, okay, dismantle the MIG, kick it back to TIG, and continue business. Because it took me half a day to figure that pedal out, find one, go get it. Ran to the welding store only to find out they don't even sell these machines anymore. So we're on the cusp. But hey, this is year one of this business, so we'll see what we're gonna do. But anyway, that's the video. We're gonna throw this bucket into the playlist of other fab stuff, more of how to weld, specifically what materials, all of that stuff. We'll go through a lot more of that. I think we got to split the channel between how to and like the entertainment of like, hey, this is cool, this is a flashy wheel, and watch this montage, or maybe some more like theoretical high level conceptual stuff, or like the Land Cruiser axle video. So anyway, hope you like it. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. A lot of rambling, but there's so much to say about this stuff. It's not really intuitive, and unfortunately most people aren't even honest, because they get free welders from Miller and they say this is the best thing ever and we're never going to use anything else. It's like, yeah, it's better. It's 20 grand, it's 20 of those machines. Is it 20 times better? Probably. I don't know. I don't mean to trash talk, but it ain't for me, because I don't have 20 grand. I'd rather have all kinds of different equipment. Like I said, this is year one. So anyway, see you in the next one. Don't forget to tell me what you like. Comment, good or bad. I'm here, I'll listen to it. If it's horrible, I'll take it in, but then delete it. But don't be afraid to smash me, it's fine. See you on the next one.